we're going to do some operations with mixed numbers. Because things change just a little bit when you're working with mixed numbers, okay? So when we're adding with mixed numbers, let's go 3 1/2 plus, let's use some big numbers, 6 6/7. Okay. Now, notice my denominators are different. Okay. So we know from adding fractions, I'm going to have to change those. The question becomes, what do I do with the 6 and the 3? When I am adding, I can separate these and make them into two different equations. I can separate my whole numbers, 3 plus 6, from my fractions. 1/2 plus 6/7. And then I add them like normal. 6 plus 3 is 9. 1/2 and 6/7, I need the common denominator. Multiply this one by 7. This one by 2. Alright, I end up with 2/14 plus, ooh, that should be 14, there we go, plus 12/14, yeah? And I end up with 14/14. This one here, I can simplify. I have exactly 14 pieces. I need 14 pieces to make a whole number. So it's a 1, and then I add these two numbers together. So 9 plus 1 is 10. So my final answer for this is 10. Separating the whole numbers into fractions allows you to see just fractions in this equation, which you should know how to work now, right? If you don't, refer back to the fractions, adding fractions. This is an easy way to do it. Okay. There is, however, another way to do it, and I'm going to show you that way as well. Okay. The other way to do it involves changing our mixed numbers into improper fractions. Now, I don't care for this way because you start using big numbers, and I prefer to work with small numbers. Easier for my brain. So, our original numbers, okay, the first thing you really want to do is change them into improper fractions, okay? And remember, we change them into improper fractions, we take our whole number, multiply it by our denominator, the bottom number. So 3 times 2 is 6. And we add that to our top number. 6 plus 1 is 7. So I've got 7/2 plus 6 times 7 is 42, plus 6 is 48/7. Now notice already, my numbers are already getting big, right? So, our next thing we have to do, we have two fractions, even though they're improper, we add them the same way. We need a common denominator. We multiply these by each other, just like I did a second ago. 7 times 7 is 49. I have to double check that on my calculator because my brain is done, and that will happen. You will discover that happens all the time. You can only do math for so long. Take your breaks, guys, okay? 7 times 7 is 49. 42 times 8 is going to be 96. And again, we're still adding these, and it's going to be over 14. I'm going to double check that answer. I believe it's correct, but perfect, 96. Calculators are used for double checking your answers. Always know how to do these things by hand. Double check your answer on the calculator, make sure you did it right. That's okay. Now we add. Alright, straight across. On top, we keep our bottom, it stays 14. 96 plus 49, right? 96 plus 49. It's going to be 145. Now, assuming I've done everything correctly on this, I should still come out with the same answer. Yeah? I should come out with 10. Let's double check. I'm going to use my calculator. If you don't have a calculator, ooh, I came out with a weird answer. Why did that come out weird? Let's double check my previous answer. So I came out with 10, but I had a remainder on this one. So I came out with 10, and my remainder was 5 over 14. Now we should ideally come out with the same answer. If you come out with a different answer this method than you did the other method, something went wrong on one of your formulas. This is why you always show your work. Preferably you don't erase yours. So we'll go back and double check our other method as well, okay? So we added 3 plus 6, that gives us 9. And we were adding 1/2 by 6 over 7, right? I'm going to write this smaller over here. We added 1/2 and 6 over 7. Multiply that by 2, that by 2, that by 7, and that by 7. So I ended up with 7 over 14 plus 12 over 14. I end up with 19 over 14, which simplifies to 1 and 5 over 14. And I should add that 1 and 5 over 14 to 9, and I should have 10 and 5 over 14. So, I messed up on the last one, okay? And most likely I messed up in my multiplication and my transferring the answer. I'll go back in the video and double check, but most likely that's why I messed up. So, proof, even somebody who does math all the time messes up. Messing up is fine. It's okay to mess up. That's why we double check our answers using a calculator. That's why we double check our answers using another method, okay? Mistakes are okay. In fact, they're not even called mistakes, right? They are called errors until you don't fix it. When you don't fix it, then it becomes a mistake, right? Mistakes happen. Errors happen. Go back, double check your work. Make sure you didn't rush through it, okay? This is adding mixed numbers.